Amen. Good morning. I just wanted to come to you all today with another rapture dream that God gave me, as well as a word from God today. So I just wanted to go ahead and be obedient and do what He told me to give to you all. But just keep me up in prayer because I woke up feeling different. I woke up feeling heavy, anxiety, and just my peace wasn't there this morning. And usually when I wake up first thing in the morning, I feel God's presence, and I feel that, I'm declaring things in my head and just prayerful over today. And, I did wake up and I did pray, and I thank God for this morning. And I just felt I felt drained. I felt tired. My spirit felt tired. Like I felt like I was worried about something. And I don't have anything that I'm worried about right now. I don't know. I think it's an attack on the enemy. The enemy is trying to attack me, just with the peace in my home. My son didn't want to get ready for school. He wanted to fight us to get ready. My daughter, she's teething. She was screaming. So I think that was a lot of it too. But even before I got out of bed, my kids woke up. I just kind of felt a heavy presence within my home. So before I got on here, I walked throughout the house. I declared peace. I declared that God's presence will be in here. I rebuked anything that is not like Him to leave His house. So I'm trusting and believing God that He is going to come in here and show up and bring His presence along with Him, because y'all, I can't do it. I can't have that feeling in here, and I can't speak the things that God is needing for me to speak, feeling the way that I feel. So just keep me up in your prayers if you don't mind. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. This was the first dream that I had. So I had two rapture dreams, or two dreams regarding the rapture or Jesus coming. The first one was very short. So I was sleeping. I wrote it down. I was sleeping and I saw fire come from the sky, and I couldn't see the location or where it was landing. And I was looking to the sky and I saw fire falling, and it was daytime. And I heard this song. If anybody know who Anita Wilson is, she's a gospel singer. She was singing the song called Perfect Love Song. So if you have time, go ahead and look that song up and listen to what she's talking about. And she's actually singing a song to Jesus about how much she loves Him. And it's like she's writing a love song to Jesus. So that was playing as I was seeing the fire fall down from the sky. And destruction was happening, and I heard that song, and I felt Jesus' love at that moment, and I felt peace. And as I'm speaking about it, God's giving me a download. So I felt peace in that moment. I felt the love of God, even when destruction was happening before my eyes. Like I didn't feel fearful or anything like that. I just felt like, I don't know, it's like my mindset just turned over to Jesus, and He had me in that moment. So that was the first dream that I had. So I woke up, I fed my daughter last night, and then I went right back to sleep. And right when I went back to sleep, I had another rapture dream. So I went back to sleep and I got another rapture dream, and I was watching TV with my son, who is 3 years old. And I saw jets coming down as we were watching TV. The TV was on the news, and it was talking about the peace treaty that was signed yesterday. I told my son, see, first the peace agreement, and next this. And when I said next this, we both looked over, and there were 3 flyer jets in a position to start bombing or running into the ground. They were looping around, ready to drill into the ground. I wasn't scared, and I said, but I'm okay. I said, because I have God. And I think I said something like that to the effect. He said, I want to go to heaven too. And I walked him through the prayer of salvation and had him speak it out loud. Then a cop came out of nowhere and sat with my son and put his arms around him as they watched TV together. The cop explained something to him, but I couldn't hear the words. The cop felt like at that moment like he was an angel from heaven, or like as if he was Jesus himself. Couldn't really make out the cop's face, but I knew it was a cop. I seen his uniform, and it was a man. So my son seemed like he was in peace at that moment. And my mom was in the kitchen, and I told her something. And you guys remember from my last dream, I told you every time my mom was in a dream, it's always a rapture video or a rapture dream. So at that moment, I knew. I was like, oh, okay, something to do with the rapture. So my mom was in the kitchen, and I told her something. And then I believe I saw my sister there. She was in the dream as well. The cop came back in the kitchen holding my daughter, and I remember thinking, this man is amazing with my kids. He's like a father. And he was comforting my children, and he made them feel safe. And then I woke up. As I woke up, I heard another Anita Wilson song playing in my head, and the song is called It's Done. And I haven't really listened to that song as much. I've heard it play here and there. But some of the lyrics that the song says is, it says, what I shall be, I already am. It's done. God has worked it out on my behalf. My eyes may not see it. My faith receive it. It will manifest. It's already done. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, why am I hearing this song in my head? Like, I've heard it a couple times in church. Or if I'm going through her album and I hear it, and I might hear it a little bit and then I turn it off because I really haven't listened to that song. But God had started playing that song in my mind when I was waking up out of the dream, and I heard her singing it loud in my head. And I knew it was from God because I knew those lyrics. And like, have you ever sang a song in your head? You like, how can I sing this song perfect in my head? But like, if I try to sing it out loud, I don't even know any of the lyrics. So that's what was kind of happening. Excuse me. And so I woke up. I was thanking God, thanking Him for the dream, praying that He would keep it in my spirit so that I could interpret it once I really truly woke up fully. And then so I began to open my Bible to read the Word, and just so happened the Bible, well, the app on my phone, the Bible had switched to Revelations 22:2. And it speaks about after the battle is won, the Lord will forever reign, and we will be with Him. No more pain, no more suffering, and etc. So I'll let you all read Revelations 22. But it was just so fitting that that song was playing, It's Done, coming out of my dream, and then I turned on my Bible app, and it shot me to Revelations 22. Verses 2, speaking about the battle had already been won with the Lord. So I just wanted to encourage you all to not get worried or boggled down about what's going on. Even with the peace treaty being signed yesterday, these are just signs for us to be aware, and just for our senses to be heightened, our spiritual senses to be heightened, that everything that the Bible has spoke about, God is bringing it to pass. There is nothing that He written in that Bible that will not come to pass, because God is not He's not a man that He shall lie, nor the Son of Man to repent. So y'all just keep watching, keep being into your Word, and just seeing what God is saying, what He's lining up. No, we don't know the time of the day, but God has given us a guidebook to show us we are near the times, and just to be looking out and to be ready. And so I did go ahead and get a download from God and an interpretation of my dream. So I interpreted that the dream, that destruction is near with everything that's happening. Everything is lining up according to His Word. Even when destruction begins, His people will have peace. Not to fear, even when things look uncertain. God is with us. We need to reach out to those, especially family members, that do not know about Jesus. Those who have fallen and strayed away from Jesus, we need to be connected and to reach out to those people. Now is the time to be bold and to warn them before there's no more time. You don't want their blood on your hands. If God has placed someone in your mind, speak to them and do so. Because you all, even if it's a simple word, a simple text, a simple phone call, go ahead and reach out to those people that God has placed in your heart, because He's doing that for purpose and reason. And because you don't want them to get to the seat of judgment and they say, well, God, I didn't know. Like, I didn't know you were trying to speak to me. And He says, well, I had someone in front of you that was supposed to give you a word, and they never gave you that word. Y'all don't want that on your hands. And the thing is, give them that word, and whether they receive it or not, you've done your job. You've done your due diligence that God has told you to do something. And whether they receive it or not, that's not our job to make them to receive it. All we can do is give it. Just like Jesus, He's a gentleman knocking at our hearts, waiting for us to let Him in. He's not bogarting His way in. He's asking. So do your part, and just follow through the plan, y'all. I'm telling you, these downloads, these rapture dreams that everyone has been receiving, at least myself, I've not seen this much. Even on YouTube, people having dreams, people having words from God. Like, He's trying to get our attention. He is trying to make sure that even His people are are found in the light, and that we don't lose our crowns, because don't get wrapped up into this world. And I have to remind myself that throughout the day, don't get wrapped up. Like, it's strange because I haven't even really been on social media like that. I don't even have the urgency to engage in, oh, well, what's going on with such and so and this famous person, and what's the new trend, and da da da. Like, I don't care about that. Like, and me, I was on Instagram all the time, Facebook all the time. Just, I click off of it, and then 5 minutes later, I'm right back on it, seeing who else is doing what. Like, no, that is not the purpose, right? That is not the purpose. It shouldn't be the purpose ever. But at this time, that is not the purpose. That is not what God is saying. He is saying, be connected to me, because you will miss out on what I am saying, or you will be engaged in something that you should not be engaged with, and then you are going to lose your crown. You don't want that happening to you. You don't want to have worked this hard, and then all of a sudden it's snatched away because you got distracted. And it can be from the most simplest thing, y'all. Don't engage in conversations you ain't supposed to engage into. That's probably the hardest one for me, because I like a good joke. I like to know the latest of everything, but that's gossiping. And you just got to be careful who you speak about, who you're putting your mouth on. Like, it's just, you've got to be very mindful, spiritually awake. You've got to have the Holy Spirit to say, you need to back up out of that conversation, or you need to not look at that or watch that. So you need to be so spiritually sensitive that you are making sure that you're found in the light. When Jesus Christ comes and splits that sky open, He's calling you home. He's rapturing you up. And I'm not saying that you're not going to go to heaven because this, and that, because I'm not the one to judge. So, and that's where it's important to have that connection with Christ. That's why it's important to be able to have that relationship, so He can tell you, all right, that's not going to work for me. No, you don't need to be doing that. And I know I'm just kind of rambling, but I just felt that in my spirit. And I don't know if any of you all have been noticing, like, I did go on Facebook last night, and I didn't stay on there long, but my intentions were to go on Facebook is to see, is anybody else talking about this peace treaty that was just signed yesterday, and how it speaks about it in Daniel chapter 7 or chapter 9, one of the two. But how it talks about that and how it lines up with the end times. And it's like the word says, people aren't even going to be noticing the signs of the time. People are going to be about lovers of themselves, and nobody was talking about this. The only thing that I've seen about Daniel chapter 7 or Daniel chapter 7 or 9, it was on the prophecy page, the Watchman's page on Facebook, that I follow on Facebook. And that's the only thing that was talking about, hey, God said it in His word. It's lining up, and to be mindful. even church members that I know that I went to church with, or go to church with, or anything. Like, nobody is talking about this. And maybe everything's not meant to be posted about, but to me, social media is an outlet to be able to reach out to others who, it's the quickest way to reach out to everyone. Because whether somebody likes your comment or likes your status, they saw it. They were aware. They are held accountable because they had the opportunity to look into what you were saying and to ask God, well, what does that mean? Or look things up for themselves. And, but it was kind of shocking. And I was kind of like in awe, like, how y'all missing this? How y'all not freaking out that they got the peace treaty agreement signed and this is the next steps for Christ to come back? Like, how am I the only one freaking out about this right now? And I know my brothers and sisters of Christ, you all are aware, but it's just like everybody else is like, they're in a stupor. They're just turned over to a reprobate mind. I don't know. Or maybe they're just unaware. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong. But I'm going to get off of here. I've been rambling. But those are the things that God has placed on my heart to talk to you all about. And guys, whenever I'm giving you messages from God, don't think that I'm not being washed against the washboard, because the same way God is giving me things to tell you all, He's telling it to myself and things that I need to be doing as well. So let's try to stay strong in the faith. Keep focused. Keep in the spirit. Consecrate yourself with God. And just kind of listen out for Him. Listen to see what He's saying. And remember, don't get boggled down by the things of the world, whether it's your job, whether it's your kids, whether it's with the bill. Just trust God. Know that He's got you. All right? I will talk to you all later. If God gives me more, I'll be back on. That's what we do, right? Bye, guys.